Greetings and welcome everyone to the City of Sumner's virtual open house 2021. And thank you so much for showing an interest in your Sumner Police Department. My name is Brad Markey and I am honored to serve as your police chief. Also with us is Deputy Chief Andy McCurdy. You might notice that we are both wearing pink badges. We wear pink badges in the month of October to support Breast Cancer Awareness Month and also the American Cancer Society's Real Men Wear Pink campaign. For those that may not be familiar with our department, we are 21 sworn commissioned law enforcement officers, 1 community service officer, and 4 support staff that provide records, evidence, professional standards, and training services. We also operate a regional animal care and control service known as Metro Animal Services. Metro is a partnership between Sumner and Puyallup, and we also serve 5 other contract cities. We have 3 animal control officers, 1 shelter assistant, and 2 animal care technicians. Now, Sumner Police is an accredited law enforcement agency. What that means is that we meet 133 separate professional standards that are evaluated by an outside team of assessors. Just May of this year, we were assessed and again granted state accreditation, making it the 16th year that the Sumner Police Department has been an accredited law enforcement agency. Now, the last 18 months have certainly brought about a lot of changes. The COVID-19 pandemic has certainly impacted our operations, our staff, and forced us to rethink the way that we provide service to the public in a manner that, in order to keep both our officers and our community members safe. I certainly would have never thought that I would be conducting so many meetings, trainings, swearing-ins, a retirement, and yes, even a community open house virtually. However, we have adapted. Similarly, in 2021, the Washington State Legislature passed a number of sweeping police reform initiatives that require us as law enforcement professionals to reevaluate and adapt how we provide service to our public in order to keep both our officers and our community members safe while still providing valued and needed services to the community, which is a core mission of the City of Sumner. I want to turn it over now to Deputy Chief Andy McCurdy, share with you about our mission, our vision, and some of the key initiatives and programs we're doing here at Sumner Police Department.
Hello, I'm Andy McCurdy. I was very proud to be invited to join the Sumner Police Department just a few months ago in August of 2021. One of the things I love about the Sumner Police Department is that they have very clear mission and vision statements that guide the leadership strategies as well as the way that officers and all staff operate out in the field and when they interact with the public. So the mission of the Sumner Police Department, together with the Sumner community, is to make our city a place where all people can live safely and without fear. The vision of the Sumner Police Department will set the standard of excellence for progressive small city police department. Now, Sumner is a very safe community. It's not experienced many of the traumatic events that have happened in other parts of the country that have raised a lot of concern about the role of government and role of the police in our society. Many of the reforms that have been called for nationally and here in Washington State are actually consistent with how the Sumner Police Department has always tried to operate. Sumner Police Department employees truly value the sanctity of human life above all else. And we have very high expectations for how officers and employees perform and how they interact with the public. Part of our vision for setting the standard of excellence for a progressive small city police department, we are continually looking for innovative strategies and programs that reinforce our values and improve not only how we do things, but also how the public perceives how we do things. We want to have a community that is safe, but we also want members of our community to feel safe. In order to adapt all of the way of doing things and improve them to best practices and implement modern strategies, one of the things we've done is we're changing the way we train toward a concept-based way of training. We're teaching our officers about basic concepts, and then we're teaching them how to apply those in different dynamic situations. So concept-based instructions, especially in areas of patrol tactics and defensive tactics, is a new way of training police officers that really starts to incorporate all these concerns and ideas into how they do things. The 5 overarching principles that we use when we talk about tactics are lawful authority, communication, position and movement, threat management, and equipment and resource management. Really what the public is asking us to do is for officers to slow down, have a plan, and bring in additional resources to help them make better decisions. In addition to that, we also are cooperating with other agencies here in Pierce County to conduct independent investigations whenever an officer is involved in a critical incident. The PC FIT applies best practices in investigations into fatal police uses of force. We're very proud of the work that group has done and of our members that are part of that group. We also have a school resource officer here in the city of Sumner, and we are one of only a handful of agencies here in the state who've already met the requirements of some recent legislation that requires significant advanced training for school resource officers to make sure that the way they're operating the schools is best for school, student, and community safety. We're also collaborating with the Sumner Bonnie Lake School District to make sure that their campus safety officers receive that training as well. We've purchased body-worn cameras. We're getting ready to issue those and start using them out in the field. We hope that these cameras will help us improve transparency and support our efforts to seek that continual improvement. Help us make sure that our officers are interacting with the public in the way that we all expect them to. We've also purchased some equipment called Case Cracker. It allows us to audio and video record interviews that we conduct here in the police department. This is going to help us comply with new legislation and also make sure that we're respecting the rights of individuals that are in our custody. We're also continuing to have our officers attend crisis intervention training, de-escalation training. We send them through this training so that we can comply with training requirements, but also we want to make sure that our officers have the most up-to-date information about local resources and de-escalation techniques and tactics to be able to keep people who are in crisis safe. The city has also hired a consultant to conduct training on diversity, equity, and inclusion. We want to make sure that our officers understand all members of our community and reduce the negative impacts of our biases. We're also working on leadership development and preparing our officers for movement. We do anticipate a number of retirements in the coming year. We want to make sure that as people leave the department, that there are other people that are waiting there and prepared to take over new roles in leadership and other specialty assignments. And lastly, we want to really focus everything we do on community and officer health and wellness. We want to intentionally prioritize resilience, intentionally prioritize making sure that people have the resources and tools they need to be able to, as officers, do their jobs safely, but also as community members to be able to access those services when needed. So these are kind of the overarching ideas about what we're trying to implement, how we're trying to meet the needs of the community. And I'm really excited about some of the things that we're working on right now.
Thank you, Andy. Excellent summation. We do have a lot going on here, and I invite the public that if you want to learn more about Sumner Police Department, what's going on, you need information about services offered, I'd really invite you to visit our website, our Facebook page, the city's Instagram, and also the city's Twitter. Our city's website was just marvelously redesigned and improved by communications manager Carmen Palmer. It provides information on the newest news feeds, things that are going on, crime prevention tips. I've got links to past council meetings where I've talked about our body cam program and legislative impacts. We've got the Facebook lead and also links to all the information and services that the Sumner Police Department provides. I really, really thank you for clicking on this link and learning more about your department. We are here to serve you. And take care, be safe, and take care of your neighbor. Thank you.